Alright, the next tank on the list is first heavy tank the Germans get, and that is the DW2. Obviously standing for Durchbruchwagen, which translates to breakthrough vehicle or tank. What do I have to say about this thing? Oh my god. It's a disaster. A complete and utter disaster. There is no good stats about this thing at all. It is just awful. It is by far one of the top 5, if not top 3 worst tanks in the entirety of the game. It is that bad. I've had some horrible games in it. I mean, it's the first heavy, I understand, and it shouldn't be super phenomenal, but this is really bad. It's really subpar. The armor, it's 50 all the way around, 50 on the turret all the way around. The Matilda takes this thing out without an issue, while this tank's gun barely can do anything to a Matilda. Now, that should be a form of alarm right there. I mean, you're a heavy tank. Your job is to, what? Fight off other tanks. And the Matilda's not a heavy tank. It is a medium tank. And you seriously can't compete against them. This thing seeing higher tier tanks is an affront. It literally is an affront to the German army. It's awful. Awful, awful, awful. The only thing I must say, I do like how the tank looks. I don't know, aesthetically it's appealing. I love how the tracks are made. Also, the tracks look pretty kick-ass. I like how it looks. I haven't been, being a modeler, I have yet to find a model of this tank. I think if I saw one, I would definitely buy it. But right now, as it is, this tank in World of Tanks is awful. I mean, it's slow. It's ponderous. The gun sucks. It's just outright a disaster. It really is. And for a heavy tank, it's even worse. I mean, there's no excuse to no excuse. I mean, there are light tanks that are better than this. Not for fighting, that is, obviously, but have more value. I mean, heavy tanks are supposed to be in the front lines fighting. That's their main role. They are supposed to be there fighting. This can't compete. There's absolutely no. There's no competition at all if playing this thing. Do I suggest this tank? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, let's go back to the tank tree here for a moment. The only reason you would want to go through this is to cut. If you're following the Panzer II line, Panzer III, and you don't want to go to the Panzer IIIJ, you want to cut across up to here and literally go up into here. And that's the only reason why. You want to get into possibly the Tiger line, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know. The stats on the thing are awful, and to be honest, the tank should not be this awful. I mean, here's a little read up on it if you want to pause the video and go through and read it. But if there's a tank that desperately needs a buff, it's this thing. The gun's awful. The armor, you occasionally might bounce a shot, occasionally, but it just look at it. Look at it. Just look at how it's positioned. It's all flat. There's no angle, and this seems to be the curse of German armor. See, it's kind of World War II, that is. It's got a slight angle, but it's not enough. The plate's not thick enough. Stuff that's shooting back at you is going right through it. There's no ifs, ones, or buts. Now, one thing I have noticed in the games that I have played in this thing, which is too many for me to say I've been too much. It's just too many games I played in the damn thing. Anyway, but one thing I have noticed is this thing is a fire magnet. I've played other German tanks, and I have never, never had as many fires in all of them combined compared to how many times this thing is set ablaze. This thing is almost instantly on fire if something hits the lower plate. If anything hits you in the engine, you're on fire. I'll be honest, I spent more time on fire in this tank than driving, shooting, and killing enemy tanks. I spent more time than all of those things on fire combined. It's that bad. It needs a serious boost. The gun has horrible penetration. The shell penetration is dreadful. I mean, you're going to be seeing like things like KV-1s. Hey, you think you're going to shoot through the front plate of a KV-1? Dream on, and it won't happen. And it's just awful tank. I would never suggest this. That's why I'm not going to even say what you would want on equipment on it. I mean, you know what? Just to give an idea on equipment, I would say vents, a gun ram, or a gun laying drive, because you're not going to hide it. That's for sure. This is supposed to be a brawling tank. How the hell is this thing a brawling tank? Everything can kill you with utter ease. It's just, there's better options out there. Now I'm going to discuss a tank. It's actually a premium tank, which I managed to get through my modeling. Apparently WoT Tanks teamed up with a modeling company, Itari or something along that line. I know I'm totally misspelling it. Not misspelling it, but mispronouncing it. But it was Tiger 1. I did a whole spiel on this and how I got screwed over by Wargaming. But we're going to be... the free tank that was included in there was the PZB-2740F. Now this was originally a B1 tank, a French B1. This has obviously been captured and modified by the Germans. Now this has the armor for a heavy tank. This is what a heavy tank should be like. It's really good. Armor-wise, I have bounced some incredible shots. Panzer 1Cs, good lord, they're not getting through. They will not get through. I've gotten steel wall countless times. I had 2 Panzer 1Cs in a platoon try to shoot me up, right through the front, right through the sides. I had my back to the wall. They just kept flying around, shooting at me. Nothing's going on. I got steel wall in no time. I think I ate easily 200 shots from these guys, easy, and not one went through, not one. This is really a heavy tank is supposed to be. This is probably the most heavy tank feel to the game. I hate to say it from what I've played so far. Even the Tiger P has been considerably less valuable to me than this thing. This thing's been eating shots, and it's simple because this thing has specialized matchmaking. It cannot see past tier 4. The only time it can see past tier 4 is if you're platooned with someone that's of a higher tier, and sometimes even tier 3 if you're platooned up with. They literally will drag you into a tier 5 match, and that's when this thing falls flat on its face. Not because of the armor. The armor starts to show at tier 5 how bad it is, but what breaks it is the gun. The gun is awful. You're looking at literally a tier 2 gun on a tier 4 tank, 2 whole tiers lower. What's good about it is it's fast firing. You get a shot off, another shot off, another shot off, relatively fast and in speed. Now, I do not have any equipment slots on this thing. This, being a premium tank, gets a bonus. You just go to research, automatically everything you have is upgraded automatically. You have top everything for this tank. Now, you also get all these premium vehicle benefits. You get no search research required for the tank because it's premium. You got everything. You get more credits for each battle you play in this thing. You get additional combat experience for each battle. That means your crew is going to be grinding up extra fast in this tank. If you're looking for a heavy tank crew, to get this vehicle, and you just grind it out. Grind it out, grind it out, grind it out. Now this is an odd vehicle because of the required people, or the crew, inside. I mean, you have 2 radio operators, for crying out loud. That's it. Just 2. You have a driver, obviously, and you have the commander. No loader, no gunner. Someone's playing the double roles here for sure. But this isn't an ideal tank if you're trying to crew train to other vehicles that need more than just that. If that's the case, you're going to be short. I mean, your other crew members will be fine. I've had not many battles in this tank, and all right off the bat, I zipped right past 100% right off the bat instantly. I mean, this is how good this vehicle is on training crew. First and foremost, this is an excellent crew trainer. You get there way faster. And in a sense, I think that the game should be like this. This is how fast the crew should be learning. I didn't have that many games to get where I am right now. I remember I started at a 75% trained crew. And I'm up over here in just a few battles I've had. Just a handful, to be honest, compared to how other people play it. Alright, let's go back to the research tree real quick here. Additional crew experience for each battle. Elite status, allowing the conversion of combat experience earned for free XP from the first battle. What that means? Yeah, I'll be honest, I have no goddamn clue. I have no idea. Transferring crew from vehicles of the same type without a penalty of retraining. A lot of people have this issue. Let's say I'm in my Panzer III and I want to take the crew from the Panzer III and put it into a heavy tank or something. You have a serious problem there. The 2 crews can't do it. This is, from what I understand, if you take it from one crew, from one medium to another medium, the issue is still there. Now, the heavy tank issue, from a medium to a heavy, I could understand that. Different types of tanks altogether. Different type of class. But if you're still driving a medium tank and you're trying to move up, take the crew that's pretty good, and put it into another medium tank, you still have the issue. Which, frankly, I don't know. This is even more apparent when you get, let's see, a Panzer 4D, and you want to take your crew from the 4D and put it in a Panzer 4H. The inside of the tank hasn't changed that much. The driver's not going to forget how to drive the tank. It's reliable. That's what I'm talking about, the Panzer 4. Not much changes on the internal components. Some change, yes, but the way they're saying it's a completely new tank altogether. It's not. Alright. There's no penalty for retraining them at all. So you can just take this thing right now, and I can get rid of guys in my Tiger P and replace them with these guys. No penalty, no retraining costs, no nothing. Straight in, straight out. You can double up your experience this way. Play one game in your Tiger P. Take the crew from here. Plop them right into the Tiger P. No penalty. Then take them after you play your experience and got whatever it is from that crew in the Tiger P. Put it back into this tank, and you can get more bonus again with the same crew inside this tank. Kind of a sneaky way to do it if you have a premium tank, yeah? Kind of nice. Let's see. Accelerated crew training available on first battle. They learn a lot after first battle of the day. They get pretty fast. And 50 more crew experience for each battle, which is amazing. Amazeballs, as people say.